I'm here with Margaret Murphy from Olson. Thanks so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having us.
And we're going to talk about Tally. So what's Tally all about?
Tally is a loyalty tracking system. So if you think of traditional loyalty with points and certificates and things like that, it's an engine that started as that, and we've evolved it from a technology perspective. So now it can do social monitoring, it can be social tracking. We use Facebook Connect, Twitter. We can move all of that into that, and then as well, from a communication standpoint, it's multi-channel. So we can do direct, from there we can have a campaign management tool that does direct mail, email, websites in real time. It does mobile, it does social, and so from a consumer experience standpoint, we can set it up on the back end for a retailer, for a bank. We can track points, we can track certificates, we can track behaviors, and we can bring that into the social and mobile space. And so it's really where the consumers are going.
Who would be a typical audience or client for you?
We do a lot of business with Best Buy, so from their Reward Zone loyalty program. We work with Olson. We work with Amtrak from a national railroad in the United States. I think a lot of retailers.
And there's a lot of competition in this space right now as far as tracking and monitoring what's happening in the digital space. How do you set yourselves apart? I'm guessing maybe the loyalty program?
Yeah, so I think when you look at it, when you look at mobile, social, and loyalty, and you look at the convergence of that, people do it in twos, but nobody's doing it in three, and we feel we've got the three. So you've got what's now being coined as social loyalty, which is really the social and loyalty perspective. You've got mobile marketing, which is really the mobile and social perspective, and then you've got loyalty and mobile, and everybody's doing two and two, but nobody's doing the social, mobile, and loyalty from a seamless consumer experience, and that's where we think we've got to.
Do you think there's any overlap between the idea of your most loyal customers and we talk about brand ambassadors or influencers in the social world? How are those things kind of overlapping?
Yeah, they definitely overlap. I mean, I think the most ideal customer is somebody that's very loyal to you, but then shares their content, is the advocate, and that word of mouth. And so in the PR space, it used to be all, well, it's press releases, and the PR now is social media. So it's more and more important from how do I know who my advocates are, how do I know who my most loyal customers, and some of them may be, they're the ones that talk most positively about me in the space, and it's not a Margaret Murphy who has 2 friends on Facebook. It's Ashton Kutcher who has 1 million, and he just said something great about my brand. Well, that's the advocacy piece of it. At the same time, you want somebody that is, from a transactional and a traffic perspective, building you on the commerce perspective. So it's looking at different things. They're all important. I would wrap them all into, they are all best customers, but it's how do we not only own the transaction, but the behavior and that advocacy, and what does that look like, and how do we help that spread the word?
Now there's a lot of change in the digital space, and constantly there are new services popping up, whether it's on the social side or I'm sure on the loyalty side as well. How do you as an organization with Tally keep up to date with all of those changes, whether it's Google Plus all of a sudden is a player in the game? How do you make sure that you're really leading edge with all of that? Yeah,
it is full-time. It's you hire people that are curious, self-starters. We're an entrepreneurial company, and so we were started by entrepreneurs, and so it's just part of our DNA. It's who we are. We didn't grow up in the big brick and mortar world of everything's a silo. So I think you just stay relevant, keep up with the latest trends, and we also do a lot of innovation within the agency. So you're able to work on things that maybe have nothing to do with the agency, but it's an entrepreneurial spirit. And if you want to use a certain amount of time to build and ideate and things like that, and that keeps people curious because then they want to see, well, if I'm going to do this, who else out there is doing that? And so it's really a culture of curiosity, in my opinion, of how we stay up on it.